Hello everyone, welcome to Chargers TV. As round 5 of the SCABL concluded over the weekend, it was your Telstra Hobart Chargers women's side getting a gutsy win over the Geelong Supercats on a Sunday afternoon at the Dwain Entertainment Centre. The final scores were 63-57 for Geelong. It was Alex Duck, the veteran for the Geelong Supercats, with 14 points and 9 rebounds and 3 steals. For your very own Telstra Hobart Chargers, it was Britt Smart with 23 points and 7 rebounds, and of course Kathleen Shear with 19 points and 15 rebounds, a great double-double for her. Let's hear from the coaches right now. You hear from Dwain Davie from Hobart and David Herbert of Geelong.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll definitely chalk that one up and put it in the cupboard and come back next week. But look, I think tonight the girls applied themselves defensively, and that's what we've been looking for. And it paid dividends. I think we hit all our KPIs in terms of what we're looking for in stops and things like that. So very pleasing, and it showed that whatever we do on offence, as long as we play the right defence, we can win any game. So.
I mentioned to David, you guys came out with a really good start and Geelong rallied back, and it kind of was a back and forth game in a way, yeah? Yeah,
look, they're a very good team, obviously defending champions, bringing in 2 imports this week to meet us, so that was always good. But they're a quality team. We knew that regardless of what happened, they were always going to come back at us. So we knew that we had to keep fighting and keep focused, and that's probably the first 4-quarter performance that we've really put in all season, and it's a W. So very pleased about that, and we regroup and we come back next week.
Yeah, when we come in and shoot at 29%, you're not going to win too many games. So we shot poorly, and that basically is the stat line that is important. You've got to outscore the other team. So we don't do that, we don't win.
Hobart came out and made a pretty good run early and got a lead in, but then you were able to rally back and kind of take the lead back. It's a bit of a back and forth game a little bit, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was throughout. It was a good contest that way. I think Hobart should be really happy with the way they played. They just grinded it out, and they're like Kathleen, who's injured at the moment, and like Brittany Smart, they were tremendous out there. So we've got to regroup. Obviously, we've had 2 new additions in our group, and this is the 3rd weekend in a row we've been travelling, so we'll be happy to play at home next week.
So Dwain Davie and David Herbert there with their post-game thoughts and reaction, and now I'm going to bring in my co-host Justin Bryan into our coverage. And Justin, Geelong's poor shooting led to the loss in the women's, but Hobart really stepped up without Clara Wisher this time round.
Absolutely. I mean, you only had to look. I think Dave mentioned there, they shot, I think it was under 30% from the field. Really, there is no team in any league around the world that should win a game of basketball shooting under 30%. But you did mention Clara being out, the team really had to step up. Kathleen, a game-time decision, and we even had Britt Parker with a bit of an ankle injury during the game, which was always going to be a bit of a struggle. But, I mean, they stepped up. They avoided that slow start, which Dwain mentioned a couple of weeks ago, and they continued to rotate on defence, be accountable on offence, be accountable for their man, and that's what got them to win, a solid team effort that relied on their structures, they relied on one another, they really believed in the team concept, and to me, that's what's got them over the line.
Great win by the ladies, and now we turn our attention to Saturday night at Dwain Entertainment Centre, where I take on the Frankston Blues, and we get Dwain's thoughts going into Saturday night's game.
Absolutely, yeah, we not taking anything for granted, that's for sure. We just got to focus on what we're doing, and what happens with the other team happens on the other team. But yeah, as you said, there's no easy games, and it's a very tough league, and anyone can beat anyone. So we're going to have to be on our ball and prepare well this week to get another one.
So Dwain Davie with his thoughts there going into this Saturday night's game against the Frankston Blues, and obviously Justin, Dwain is very optimistic but understands that Frankston are no easy beats regardless of the win-loss record they have at the moment.
Absolutely. I mean, you've only got to see, as Dwain's mentioned, this competition is even. It's one of the most even the Seawolves ever seen. I mean, we also have a habit of playing teams where we'll be favourites to go in, we'll come out with a loss, or much like this week, going against Geelong, didn't think personally we were the favourites, thought we were probably a little undermanned with those game time decisions, and we got the win. So you never quite know in the Seabull, but Frankston will come out with nothing to lose, literally, because they haven't won a game yet. So they can come out, they can play free-flowing, they can experiment and do a few different things, and I think that's going to be the key to their chances against the Chargers. On the other side of the floor, though, we've got to rotate on D as we have been, and we've got to avoid those slow starts. us getting a huge jump early is going to be pivotal. Kathleen's got an extra, a whole week to rest. No SBL action for the Kings, so she'll have more time to recuperate. So I think we should be fine, but again, just got to be wary of those teams that have absolutely nothing to lose. They've got everything to play for.
And of course, the game is at 6 o'clock this Saturday night at the Dwain Entertainment Centre. And now to the men's game, where in an absolute thriller and probably a contender for game of the season in the men's category, Justin, and of course we can tell you in today's Mercury, as we've got up here, the Chargers win this one in an absolute thriller. 92-86 was the scoreline. The top scorers for Geelong, the veteran Nathan Herbert with 18 points, 4 rebounds, 2 steals. For your very own Telstra Hobart Chargers, Craig Moller with the game-winning clutch 3 at the end, 22 points, 13 rebounds, had a big double-double once again. But Zach White also had a game-winning block on the defensive end. He had 11 points, 6 rebounds, 5 steals and 4 blocks. Absolutely fantastic contribution from Zach, and you've got to hear from him right now.
Yeah, it was tough. I'm proud of our guys to keep fighting because there were a lot of times where we could have given up and packed it in. We knew they were going to go on a run. They're a good team, and there's not a weak spot on the floor for them offensively. So once we locked it down on defense, I think we were right.
What were the struggles in the first half? Obviously, the shooting and defensive breakdowns weren't helping as Geelong were on fire.
Yeah, I mean, you said it. It was defensively, we broke down way too many times. We gave up way too many easy shots. On offense, we missed our open opportunities, and we weren't as tight as we normally are. So it was a bit tough in that first half.
What was the message at half-time from Stewie? Obviously, Stewie just wanting a little bit more effort on the boards?
Yeah, it's pretty much just effort and just pride. We can't look at the scoreboard. We just got to play how we know we can play, and we know that we're good enough to play and beat teams like that. And we make it difficult, but, man, we need to be better for 40 minutes, and there's no team in the league that can stop us.
Obviously, a couple of guys in foul trouble and made that adjustment quite well, and then able to finish off the game. Was that a good thing?
Oh, it's great. And guys coming off the bench, Jake Richards and Cam Brown, just very good inside off the bench, and that makes us very versatile and very deep, and that helps us.
So, Zach White there, and obviously Justin Sack, very happy with the win, but first half, though, they probably should have done better to get themselves out of that hole earlier.
I think it's something that Anthony spoke about during the year, and that was that maybe some guys tend to be focusing on the future rather than the now. We do have a lot of potential NBL players. That's, without a doubt. It's evident. We've got guys who do have that NBL experience, so they're going to want to maintain their level of play and stick out a little bit more so they can keep those NBL contracts. I think maybe the team became more of an individual in that first half, and that's what I think cost them, whether it be isolation offense or, even the blame game to an extent, letting someone else take the fall for something they didn't do. In the second half, I'm assuming Anthony gives them an absolute spray at halftime. They come out a completely different looking team. Solid on defense. I mean, you've only got to look at Zach there. Zach only had 11 points, but those 5 steals and 4 blocks, make no mistake about it. Zach White is the reason they won that game. In a sense, it was the right individual performance from players. They played within their offence, they played the right defence, and that's what got them over the line. Their individuals worked as teams, not a team of individuals, which was great to see.
And of course, now the men do turn their attention against Frankston on Saturday night, and we got Sax Forts going into that game.
Just that fourth quarter we played today, we have to play that way for 40 minutes and we'll be fine. We got to play how we know we can play and not have those lapses where we're just bad on both ends of the floor.
So Zach White there with his comments going forward to the game against Frankston on Saturday night, and Justin, he's saying that the way they played in the fourth quarter, they got to bring that into the Frankston game on Saturday.
Absolutely. Again, you've got to be hustling on D, you've got to be playing within your offence, you've got to be getting the crucial stops, you've got to be making the big buckets, and you've got to be making the 1%ers. I mean, diving for a loose ball. If there's a knockoff for a steal, don't stand there and hope it rolls out of bounds or someone gets it. Chase after it, get to it hard. I think another big factor too amongst all that is the crowd. We only had just over 1,000 people in the building, albeit a Sunday game. But I mean, that 1,000 sounded like a regular 1,700 that we get on a Friday night. So I think a big call there isn't just to the Chargers players, but to the Stampede itself. Get out there, support the boys on the Saturday night, and make it once again the loudest building in the Seaboard. Absolutely,
and the game on Sunday was absolutely loud. It felt like we were at Hisense Arena with 10,000 people. The way the crowd was really carrying on and chanting in great spirits. And thank you to those 1,000 over those 1,000 people that came to our game on Sunday afternoon. Of course, it's a Saturday night game, 8 o'clock tip-off at the Dwain Entertainment Centre. Be there. It's going to be an absolute great game to watch once again. We'll take a break and we'll come back with more right after this.
That was amazing. The crowd got into it. It got loud in here. And honestly, that fueled us. I think that honestly helped us get over the line. And hats off to Zach. Zach had a big game, man. I don't think he gets enough credit a lot of times, but he does all the small things for us. And it showed. In these last couple possessions, it showed. He had a big block. And also hats off to Craigie. He hit some big shots. Yeah. He played well through foul trouble. And he was able to hit some crucial shots down the stretch as well. So, hey, it's a team effort, man. Hats off to all the guys. It's a good win. We'll take this one and learn from it as well and try to keep this thing rolling.
And welcome back. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media pages to keep up to date with all the goings on here at the Telstra Hobart Chargers. You can like us on Facebook, you can follow us on Instagram or Twitter, or you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. So make sure you keep up to date with all the goings on here at the Telstra Hobart Chargers. And our special guest this week is none other than Brian Ritchie. Brian is a bass player for the band called The Violent Femmes. And we spoke to him about, obviously, his music days, but also what he's up to here in Hobart and how he's enjoying the basketball. And he's a very great and close personal friend to our Telstra Hobart Chargers president in David Bartlett. That's all we have time for in this edition of Chargers TV. On behalf of the entire crew, it's goodbye.
It's great to be here. How fantastic is this?
It's absolutely fantastic, and we know that you've been to a few Chargers games before. You're a very close personal friend with David Bartlett, who's our president.
That's right.
And obviously you must enjoy coming out to do an entertainment centre every time for the basketball.
I know some of the players too, the Radcliffe brothers, and being an American, of course, I know the game, so it's a lot of fun.
We're hearing that I think David kind of passed this on to us, that when you were growing up, your dad or something took you to the Milwaukee Bucks games and that type of thing?
Milwaukee Bucks, well, we had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in those days, one of the greatest players of all time, so that was a great era for basketball.
Certainly was back in those days. And how are you finding the game now as it's always a big evolution, I suppose, for generations?
Well, they just keep getting more and more athletic, more exciting, but as far as evolution is concerned, it's great to see this team evolving. It looks like they're kicking some ass this year.
Absolutely, and of course, you played with you played in a band called the Violent Femmes.
Violent Femmes, yes, we're also from Milwaukee, and we're all sports fans. We live for sports and music.
And a bit of music history and a bit of music knowledge for me. Where have you guys played, and big arenas and that type of thing, mate?
Everywhere in the world. Sports-wise, we played at the Kentucky Derby horse race. So that's like the biggest sporting event. We played at the Super Bowl, American football Super Bowl.
How is that? As you're playing probably the biggest audience ever. That's one of the highest, viewed events in US TV.
It was pretty big, but our biggest audience was 300,000 when we played at Woodstock Festival.
Of course, the famous Woodstock festivals are always coming with great musicians. Again, you must get a thrill and a kind of a great experience from that.
Well, the thing that's a similarity between sports and music is that we all love the audience, and there's nothing like a good crowd to get us going. Whether we're playing sports or music, we need the audience, and it's a good crowd here today.
Yeah, especially for a Sunday. And I suppose, how much do you enjoy being here in Hobart at the moment?
Well, we've been here for about 12 years now, so I guess you could call it home. I mean, it's like, that's it. So do we enjoy it? Yeah, we love it. It's home, and we have no intentions of leaving.
And Brian, give us your prediction here in the second half. Can Hobart rally back from 10 points down here at halftime?
Oh, this is a very surmountable obstacle. It just takes a couple three-pointers and a couple of extra points, and you got it made.